ang binabayaran natin, isipin nyo ha, in all of the countries, Korea, Japan, Singapore, pag ikaw nagkasakit, kahit anong sakit, kahit magkano, 10% lang ang binabayaran mo. In the Philippines, pag nagkasakit ka dito, 60, 50%, 70%, sometimes even 90% of the cost of medication. Anong right ng gobyernong ito, anong karapatan nila na kunin yung pondo ng PhilHealth at ilagay sa flood control? Dapat yung pondong yan palakasin ang health program. Pag may sakit ka, mas expand ang tulong. Ngayon, pumunta ka hospital. Kahit sabihin mo, PhilHealth, ayaw ka ng tulungan kasi wala daw pondo. Hindi sila binabayaran. Ano ang pangalawang pinakailaman? PDIC. 107 billion pesos. PDIC is a contribution by all of us. Kita ng bangko. Pag nagsara ang bangko, nag-bank run, kung may pera ka doon, at least may insurance ka. Dapat yun expand. Imbis na 500,000 gawing 1 million. Imbis na 1 million gawing 2 million. But they also took out the money. Nilagay dito. Yung sinabi ni Saldico na 25 billion pesos came from the insertion of the President. Hawak ko ang dokumento. Hindi lang 1 year. For 3 years, may 100 billion direkta ang Presidente. Ang delivery, 2 billion a month, sinasabi niya. Alam niyo ho, when ERAP was put in jail, nung nagkakaso si ERAP, ang kaso niya was 4 billion pesos. Nandun yung sinasabi na Muslim Youth Fund, Weteng Fund, pero ang mismong pondo lang ng gobyerno was 160 million of the tobacco excise tax. When GMA had a case, of course, si ERAP na-convict and he was pardoned later on. When GMA was charged, yun po yung 360 million sa PCSO. That was not even in their office. Hindi niya opisina. Pero nagkataon, yung resolusyon, naglagay lang si ma'am, okay. Nagano lang, okay. She was charged for that, 360 million pesos. Ito, pinag-uusapan natin. Billion. Billion, one delivery, 1 billion. Ngayon, no, yung Makabayan Black, di ba, nag-file din ng impeachment. Yung sinabi nila, yung parametric formula. And I will explain also why there is mismanagement of this government. Ginawa pala ngayon sa gobyerno, nung kay Yusek Cabral, sasabihin niya sa mga congressman, ilan kayo? 250, if I'm not mistaken, no, I'm sorry, mga 220. 220 of district congressmen. Okay, take to 2 billion kayo, isubmit nyo kung anong project ninyo. For every district, 2 billion pesos. Sabi ko kay Ma'am Paz, Ma'am, magkano ba yung budget natin noon, nung tayo noon? 200 million pesos. O, ilista mo na. Because the thinking then was, baka may ginagawa ang national government, hindi niya na nakikita yung problema sa district. And there are needs in the district that the congressman can see. So, pwede lang itulong sa distrito nila. So, sinasabi ng mga national government, sige, eto na lang yung 200 billion, but even half of that is mga pang-hospital, pang-scholarship, no? Mga ganito, soft, ang kung tawagin namin. Ngayon, DPWH pa lang, 2 billion pesos. Each district. Ano ang naging net effect nito? Alam niyo ho, there are 6 major projects under BBM's term that supposedly should be funded under the Official Development Assistance Fund. Metro Manila Subway. Parati kayo sinasabi, bakit? Sayang. Dapat in 2028, may subway na ang Metro Manila. Ano hong ginagawa nila? Kung ang Metro Manila Subway may commitment tayo, assuming 20 billion pesos nakalagay sa budget, kinukuha naman nila, ito naman baliktad. Kukunin nila yon, ilalagay nila saan program. Maglalagay naman sila ng flood control kapalit. Because in the budget, hindi mo pwedeng baguhin. You cannot increase or decrease the budget. So ano ang nangyari? Wala na. Wala na mangyayari sa term niya. Yung Metro Manila Subway, 2030 na matatapos. Panay Guimaras Road. Yung North-South Rail, connecting to Clark to Manila. Yung South Rail Long Haul, connecting to Bicol. Laguna Lake, Coastal Road. Yung Pumbataan Cavite Road, walang pondo. So, ang step by step, binadahan-dahan, nilalagyan ng konti-konti. Ano ang penalty natin? Kasi loan ho yan. 400 billion pesos penalty of the Philippine government. In particular for Cebu. Hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari and when it will be funded. The Mactan Cebu Bridge is part of the official development assistance. Ha? Fourth bridge. Pagkatapos meron pa kayo yung sanitary program, yung for the basura. Can you imagine, bilyon-bilyon ang nawawala? When in fact, this could fund the problems of Cebu. Kung ang pondo nilagay sa tubig, sa Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, nilagay sa subway or bridges of Metro Manila and Metro Cebu, ang laki sana ng bagay. Pero saan nilagay? Doon sa malaki ang kickback. Flood control, cat's eye, ilaw ng mga netting. Oh. Kung saan yung tumakbo si Cabral, yung tumalon siya, yung sinasabi, ito yung maraming netting program na ginagawa nila. Where you have a very high kickback. One of the things that we raise also is the drug problem of the President. Hindi galing sa atin yan. Hindi ang personal against the President. But this was the claim of his sister, si Senator Amy Marcos. Nasabi nga namin, and we were supposed to, kung nagkaroon ng impeachment, invite her also as one of the witnesses. Why is the drug use a concern of every Filipino? Ang laki ng problema natin, ngayon lang nag-aaway sa West Philippine Sea. Paano pagka na-hito, na bad trip? Sabi niya, gera na tayo, patay na Pilipino. Because that is the problem that we have. Yung sinasabing mismanagement of the budget, parati yan sinasabi ng lahat. That's the president budget, nilagay mo yan, kaya pala nagkakandalo yung budget. Because, I do not know, and it's up to the president to prove us wrong. Siya dapat na mag-defend sa sarili niya. Because if there is a mental incapacity to govern, then we are in trouble. Delikado ang ating bansa. Alam nyo, dito sa mga nangyayari, explain ko lang yung sinabi ni Marcoleta. Ninote ko sabi ko baka makalimutan ko. Alam nyo, nare-recall nyo si Descaya nandito ngayon sa Lapu-Lapu, di ba? Sabi ni Marcoleta, sabi nila, kailangan magkaroon ng restitution. Di ba debate yan? Sabi ni Marcoleta, wag mo lang restitution. There are 2 steps. Protective custody. Protektahan mo muna kasi nagsasalita na. Ang tinuro ni Descaya, 70 na congressmen. Tapos, I'm not sure kung ilang senador. Basta nagturo na siya. Tapos, ang tinuro din niya, nagturo na si Descaya, and sabi nila, hindi. Dapat Descaya, bago ka maging state witness, magkaroon ka mo ng restitution. Alam niyo, this was explained to me by a lawyer. And nandito to, magaling na lawyer din to si Attorney Mike. So, ano sabi niya? Mali na magbigay muna ng pera. Sabi ko, bakit? Isipin mo, Mike, nagnakaw ka ng 10 bilyon. Okay? Sinabi mo sa akin, boss, magbibigay na lang ako ng 1 billion pabalik sa gobyerno. Bibigyan kita ng 2 billion. Gawin mo na akong state witness. Anong ibig sabihin ng state witness? Wala ka ng kaso. Kung ano man ang pera mo na ninakaw, pwede mo nang itago. Yan ang delikado. Sabi niya dapat, mag-hearing muna, sabihin niya lahat, i-determine magkano ninakaw niya, kaysa pag-usapan magkano isusoli mo. At least malinaw, on paper, nagnakaw kang 10 bilyon, isoli mo 9.5. Oh, itago mo na yung 50 million. Laki pa rin, no? 50 million. Pero bahala na. Pero at least, there is a determination, a reference point. Tama po? Oh, Ngayon, ikwento ko nangyari. Tingnan ninyo, doon sa distrito ni Alcantara, okay, unang tanong, magkano sinuli ni Alcantara? 180 ata. Correct? 170 or 180 million pesos. Okay? Tingnan nyo ang budget nung kanyang distrito. 60 billion from 2022 to 2025. Magkano sinabi niyang kinukuha niya sa pondo? 8%. Inamin niya to. During the committee hearing. Alam niyo yung 8% na yun? Sa 60 billion, that's 4.8 billion pesos. Eh meron pa siyang back. Meron pa siyang connection dun sa, yun, sa back niya. Meron pa siyang partid. Siya pa mismo kontraktor. Di ba? Inamin naman niya eh. Ako kontraktor, hinirap ko yung lisensya. Gawin na lang natin 10%. 6 billion pesos ang nakuha niya. On his own pa lang yan. Eh bakit ang sinuli mo 180 million? Ngayon, state witness ka na, wala ka ng kaso. Ganon din si Bernardo. Bernardo has been talking about funds. And Bernardo is not just talking about Bulacan. He's talking of the entire budget, which is about 700 billion to 1 trillion pesos a year. Yan ang pinag-uusapan nating pera. Ngayon, nung nagsabi si Saldico, sabi niya, ang nakukuha sa customs, dinideliver kay BBM, kay First Lady, 11 billion pesos. Ang epekto, sabi niya dun sa asukal, 9 billion pesos. Alam niyo ho, yung inflation, nagtataka ko sa Pilipinas, supposedly bumababa na because we came from the crisis of COVID. Ngayon bumababa na yung presyo ng inflation pala. Pero bakit ang presyo tumataas? Mas mura ang asukal, sibuyas sa Singapore, sa Malaysia. Eh dito may bigas tayo. Singapore nga, walang bukid. Mas mura pa ang bigas, mas mura pa ang asukal. Yung pala. Because there is a manipulation in smuggling. And Saldico spoke about it. Yan, kailangan sagutin ng Presidente. And last but not the least, and this is very important while we are here during the ASEAN. Alam niyo ho, yung kidnapping ni Pangulong Duterte. You know, Vice Mayor, Mayor Mike and I was talking about the arrest of Mayor Duterte. And I've been thinking about this for a very long time. Si Digong, President Rodrigo Duterte, will go down in Philippine history as the only other hero who died like he did. Si Rizal, binaril nila si Luneta. Ngayon, si Duterte, if he dies, and if he dies in The Hague, it will be on Bongbong Marcos. Forever in the history of the Philippines. Not only here, not only now. Our children, their children will know about what happened to Rodrigo Duterte. Yung pong nangyari kay President Duterte, and we had evidence to show, ginawa lang nila yung investigasyon in 2023. Nawala na po tayo sa ICC in 2017. Tama ba? 2019, 2018, we abrogated the treaty. 2019, sabi lang, residual daw yung naging effect ng warrant of arrest. Hindi ho. Hindi totoo yun. Nagsimula ang investigasyon in 2023. At ang gumawa ng investigation to frame up, to put down and to put Duterte, to detain him and to bring him in The Hague was no less than the Philippine government headed by Bongbong Marcos. Pinagawa niya yung ebidensya in 2023 nung wala pa hong warrant of arrest. Umuwi si Pangulong Duterte, dinetain nila sa airport. Illegal po yun. There was never a warrant of arrest from any court in the Philippines. Ang nakalagay po sa treaty natin, kasi dalawa ho yan merong treaty extradition with other countries. Assuming, for example, Malaysia, Korea, may extradition treaty. Meron naman tayo on the basis of a statute, which is the Rome Statute, na nagkaisa tayo under the International Criminal Court. Sumama tayo dyan. Anong nakalagay doon? Na kung anuman ang pag-aresto, rirespetuhin ang saligang batas ng ng anumang bansa. Whatever country, they will respect the local laws. Eh di ba sa konstitusyon natin nakalagay due process? So dapat kung ano yung nangyari sa kanila doon, dumaan sa korte dito, ibinigay kay Pangulong Duterte. Pero hindi yun eh. Talagang sinetap nila na pag-uwi ng Pangulong Duterte, i-detain nila at ilalabas ng Pilipinas at magkakaroon ng trial. Ano ang ebidensya? Ang evidence ng galing mismo sa mga tao ng Republika, sa mga tao ng gobyerno. And why is ASEAN very important now? Why is ASEAN very important here? Lahat po tayo ng ASEAN dito. We were all colonized by other countries. Singapore, UK, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam by the French, yung Singapore, Malaysia by the United Kingdom. Alam natin ang dumaan sa isang opresyon sa kolonyalismo. Alam natin yung naging problema ng soberenya. Lahat tayo lumaban for independence. Why will you now sacrifice a Filipino? Bring him to another country. Charge him in another court, in a foreign court, with foreign laws. Eh, pagka may OFW tayo, hindi natin alam ang kaso. Nandiyan kagad ang Philippine government. Whether right or wrong, because he or she is a sovereign, is a Filipino citizen, dinedepensahan natin yung Pilipino. Kung minsan convicted na, we talk to the governments, pwede ba palayaan ninyo? Pwede ba i-downgrade ninyo? Ito, Pilipino, dating Pangulo, tayo humuli, tayo nagpasuko. So I understand, and I know, that the ASEAN governments know and have experienced colonialism and the fight for sovereignty. Hindi lang ito politika. Prinsipyo, teritoryo, soberenya ng bansang Pilipinas. And so we must continue with this fight. We must petition the different governments who are here today to tell them that Cebu wants you to know, and we want to be heard, that we have a problem in this country. That our leader, former leader, a Filipino, was taken, arrested, detained, and brought against his will to another court, to a foreign court. And all of this was done by our own government. Alam nyo, nung ako po'y nasa kabinete, inaresto si Pangulong Estrada. Saan dinala? Sa veterans. Tried by a Philippine court. After that, si Pangulong GMA, na-aresto, detained, tried, and charged in a Philippine court. Yun, tama. I will not defend Rodrigo Duterte. He can very well defend himself. Pero dito nyo siya i-charge. Nakita niyo naman yung mga dating Pangulo dito. Nagkaroon ng trial. Ganon din sana. Dito nyo siya i-charge, dito nyo patunayan yung sinasabi nyo against the former president. Huwag din yung gawin yung ginawa sa kanya. Dahil ito dapat, hindi awayan ng kulay. Dilaw, pula, pink. Dapat to, sama-sama tayo. Soberenya to. Pilipinas to. Republika natin to. At si Duterte, Pilipino, dapat natin ipaglaban. So to all of you in Cebu, our leaders here, to the Maisog, thank you so much for having me here. We must continue the fight. This is not political. This is principle, accountability, and the future of our people. At kayo Maisog, you have started the fight, you will continue to fight, I will join you until the end. Maraming salamat, magandang hapon po sa inyo.